welcome to the next MP. My name is Kafui Day. Let's start with some mental on a Sunday evening. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 64. And those are the number of days left to the general election on the 7th of December 2020, where Ghanaians line up to vote for the next president, the next MP. Talking of the next MP, my guest in the studio, live and direct, is a chartered accountant, a lawyer, and he would like to be the next MP for the good people of KORLE constituency in the Greater Accra. And if you're thinking, where is KORLE, and which are the neighborhoods? So we're talking Osu, you're talking Tudu, you're talking Adabraka, you're talking Asylum Down or Donna. Yes, if you know those neighborhoods, that's the area we're talking about. My guest is Prince APPIAH DEBRAH. Good evening.
Good evening, Kafui.
It's good to have you here.
My pleasure.
Fantastic. We will get into what you want to do for the people of KORLE and how you see your chances in the election. But let's start off by getting to know a bit about you. Who is Prince APPIAH DEBRAH?
Well, thank you for the kind introduction.
Indeed.
And to add to that, and a lot of the times when you say it's a chartered accountant, it's a lawyer, but most importantly, he's public-spirited, and he has a vision and a mission for the KORLE constituency, for which reason he wants to stand as the next MP for KORLE.
Mm-hmm. On the ticket of the new
on the
Patriotic
ticket
Party.
of the New Patriotic Party. And I hope people do understand that there are deep ideological differences between the MPP and the NDC and what we stand for. So I am proudly standing on the ticket of the NPP in the KORLE constituency. Now, KORLE, the name, KLOTEY is a lagoon. Atosu is right behind the castle. Mm-hmm. And KORLE is also a lagoon, famously or infamously located at where we call Lavender Hills. And so the biggest chunk of the area between the KLOTEY and the KORLE is where the constituency lies. I think the only interjecting parcel of land is Odododiodo. And so KLOTEY is the male lagoon and KORLE is the female lagoon. And so that's how the constituency derives its name. Mm-hmm. I was born at Osu and grew up entirely at Osu. And so I have a certain nostalgia when I'm talking about the constituency. And one of the reasons why we want to run, or we are making a pitch for this seat, is that you see neglect of the constituency over the years. And then the question is, you talk about neglect in KORLE. It is the priciest real estate in the whole of Ghana, in terms of government infrastructure, in terms of access to government services, diplomatic services, embassies, or the bank headquarters somehow find themselves on the Independence Avenue, in which lies within KORLE. So it is a very historic landmark. It is commercial, it is residential, but it still has pockets of people that needs a lot of help. So when you talk about KORLE, it's mostly a people's problem.
It's a people's problem.
It's a people's problem.
Okay.
And we won't be able to fix a little bit of that. So enter Prince APPIAH DEBRAH.
When did you decide that you were going to be a member of parliament?
About 2 years ago, or roughly 3 years ago. And even though I have been in there with the NPP from day one, I've not really shown my face, but I've been in there with them. But then a couple of years ago, I keep thinking, things are not really changing. The MP we have is an absentee MP. People don't see her. And having been born and raised, I shuffled between Osu and Asylum Down growing up in KORLE. And I felt the need to step up to the plate and be able to contribute my quota to the development of KORLE.
And that's why you want to be the
and
next,
that's why I want to be the next
MP. KORLE sounds very indigenously Ghan. And somebody may be watching and listening to you and say, but the man's name is Deborah. Where's the link? So can you demystify that link? Because Deborah is definitely not a Ghanaian.
Yes, it's predominantly Ghana. About 42% of the population is Ghana. But it's also a very cosmopolitan area. You have a lot of Akans, a lot of Evers, a lot of Hausa or people of Muslim extraction or let's say northern extraction. And all of that goes into the mix at KLOTEY. So it makes it a very interesting place. I just say that I am the first clearly Akan person standing for the seat in KLOTEY. But this is the catch. My mother is Ghana. And I speak better Ghana than Twi.
Okay.
Yes, and I was born and raised entirely at Osu. So my mother tongue is Ghana, even though my name is Akan. And people have had that question a lot of time. People ask me, what business do you have at Osu? Or what business do you have at KLOTEY? And I tell them, I have a Ghana part, I have an Akan part, but most importantly, I have a commitment to serve the KLOTEY constituency.
Is that why your slogan is Shia Sani? Which what does that translate into from Ghana?
Shia Sani, fortunately, unfortunately, it's rather overshadowed the campaign because the campaign's message is new direction.
Yes, but I see Shia Sani. So what does Shia Sani mean? You brought it up.
Shia Sani, I did not bring it up. I just went along with it. There's a good friend of mine. Growing up, we used to have a football team at Osu called Mighty Warriors. That football team was spawned in my house, so we all grew up playing for Mighty Warriors. And one of the longest, in fact, he was the longest serving captain of Mighty Warriors. His name is Abed Lutrot. And he has remained a friend of the family since. And I didn't know, but he was a staunch NDC supporter. So after the primaries.
Which primaries? The MPP primaries?
The MPP primaries. Last year.
September.
And he heard that I was the MPP candidate. He came looking for me at home. And my sister told me, Abed came looking for you. And he's frantic. He wanted to see you. So what did he say?
Didn't tell you anything?
He didn't tell her anything. So when he met me in the house on that fateful day, he said, Prince, then I said, yes.
Is it true that you are now with the
MPP? Okay. Is it true you are running for the MPP? I said, yes. He said, oh, I've never voted Kutudu. I have never. And then he stood there as if he was worried. He stood there for a while and he said, okay,
what does Shia Sani mean?
It means it's because of you. I will treat it as an in-house thing. Okay. I mean, this is just about you and I as a person. This is a house matter. And so it has the meaning as taking various versions. People say that, oh, he's one of us. And
it sounds like a dig at your MP that she doesn't have any links with
that is not the idea. The idea is about the relationship between myself and Abel Lutrot at the time he said it, trying to allude to the fact that even though he's avowedly NDC, because he knows me well, because we have associated for long, he is not going to use his party to separate me and him.
But so does it mean that you want to be attracting some people who would normally not have voted for the MPP? Because I see the Shia Sani everywhere.
I see,
it's no longer just you
and that is the way it has played out. That is the way it has played out. And we have a lot of social capital at Osu. And that is where the Shia Sani thing is booming. Because imagine, I went from kindergarten to law school while staying at Osu. So I have classmates. My wife also happened to come from Osu, both parents. And so I'm still neck deep in Osu activities, and I happen to know a lot of people. So this Shia Sani took off like wildfire. And before I know it, when I go somewhere, they call me Shia Sani.
Do you like it?
I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it because I feel the connection between myself and the people who are claiming Shiansani. And a good chunk of them happens to be on the other side. But they are saying that all politics is local. And in this case, we have a candidate we know very well, who associates very well with us, who we feel comfortable with. And therefore, and I believe if it works out, then it will be the platform for transforming the constituency.
Okay.
In a bipartisan manner.
We'll talk about that in a short while. What's it like going up against somebody who has very high name recognition? I mean, if there's a Rawlings attached to your name, that's big. And you could argue that the current MP's father is almost, I mean, he worked in Osu for so many years. Yes, so many years. So that Shia is also his Shia,
yes.
in a way.
Yeah,
and his daughter is the current MP. She has name recognition.
Definitely,
yes,
she does.
So, how do you intend to counter that?
That has not bothered me in the bit. The fact that President Rawlings really endeared himself to the people of Alata and associated very well with them. And so bringing his daughter into the mix in 2016.
Did he bring her into the mix or she decided to be MP?
Oh, he literally brought her. He said,
really?
Yeah, he said, and that was all JJ needed.
That's what he did?
Yes.
You don't think she came there on her own effort and steam?
She couldn't have. She couldn't have.
Why not?
Because she has not associated with the people the way her father did. Her father really immersed himself in Osualata. So he shows up and the people are happy. Remember, Osualata is just behind the castle. And as head of state, he walks down, mixes up with them all the time. That's not the same for the daughter. So when he came in and said, it rang true for them. And they voted for her. And fortunately for her, at that time, MPP was also struggling with our own internal issues. My big brother, Philip Addison, and Nin were still at
There was a split there, and so the vote for them, because there was an independent candidate who ran.
Yes, he was the constituency chairman.
Yes, and he split the MPP vote in 2016.
And that is the reason why we said that we made it easier for her to walk through. And so, but now, it's 2020. She has been there, the daughter of J.J. Rawlings. Whatever people expected, I think I've been disappointed a bit. So they go like, okay, now we've seen her. She's the daughter of J.J. Rawlings all the same, but she's not J.J. Rawlings. She doesn't have the same mojo, and the halo is gone. So now they will vote for her based on her record and her association with them, and no longer the fact that she's the daughter of J.J. Rawlings. And that is the reason why Shiansani is ringing so through, because they have seen her. They've seen what she's able to do and what she cannot do.
What do you plan to do?
What I plan to do for KLOTEY KORLE.
Because you don't have any record now.
I don't.
So yours are promises.
I have a clean slate.
Yeah. So
But-
what are your plans?
But we've done a lot of things even before stepping up to the plate. We have been involved in the social and cultural life of Osu for a long time. And we have adopted a school, Osu Presby Girls Basic School, and with little association with the teachers and the Presbyterian Church and the PTA, the Parents Teacher Association, we've been able, by and large, to transform that school. It's now looking good. The parents are happy that their children are attending that school because we've provided monodesk. All the children sit on their own desk. We've provided whiteboards instead of blackboards. We've cleaned off the blackboards, put in whiteboards. We have painted the whole school so it looks nice. We've taken the kids on tours. Went to Ashesi University, gone to other places just to broaden their worldview. And we've encouraged them, by and large, to stay in school, especially for the girls. Because in that part of Osu, and anytime I say it, people laugh, in that part of Osu, when a girl finishes JHS and doesn't continue to SHS, I can guarantee you, in 2 years, she'll be pregnant. And when we tell them these things and encourage them to stay in school, and so in the 2015-2016 academic year, we were able to support about 11 girls to go to SHS, just so that they go. Now we have free SHS. And so we are telling them, use it, take it, spend the 3 years in school. By the time you are out of SHS, you are 19, 20 years, you are in a better position, you can learn, you are teachable, and you can have a better life.
I can see, mentioning free SHS, I can see that that is one of the planks that you are really riding on in this election. You're pretty excited about
yes, and let me tell you why. The part of Osu I grew up in is a pretty tough place. And I have friends, or I grew up with people who were way smarter than I am. But they finished at Form 4, middle school living certificate. And after that, they couldn't go to secondary school. And excuse me to say, that has been their lot in life. They haven't aspired, they haven't moved on. I was fortunate, even though I was raised by an illiterate grandmother, and I say illiterate quote and unquote because she couldn't read or write. But she is the smartest woman I know. And my auntie, my mother's older sister, also illiterate, but she used to sell at Mokola. Very smart. And I keep asking her all the time, how come they never took you to school? Because she was very smart. And I'll give you an example of why I say she was very smart. I did economics first year at the University of Ghana before deciding to major law in accounting. And you know, University of Ghana, around May, June, when it starts raining, it gets pretty cold. So on the M block at the University of Ghana, Legon Hall, I was getting pretty cold. So I went home and told my auntie that I needed a sweater. And when I told her, she's like, oh, APPIAH, why do you wait for Manyawale, May, before you ask me for a sweater? I can't pay for a sweater in May. It will be too expensive. You should have told me in Ochokrikli, in other words, in March, when it is cold and I can grab it one for 1 cedi. I could have bought you 10, but now you have one. Now that you've missed the opportunity, you wait. In September, when it gets hot again, I can buy you 2 or 3. And I was sitting down and I'm like, wow, this woman that I presume is uneducated, has not been to school, knows the influence of the weather on demand and prices. And so I looked at it differently. The point I'm trying to make is we have native knowledge and we have what we call school knowledge. If you can find a way to go to school and still maintain that native knowledge, then you can go up. But unfortunately, that native knowledge alone, without the rigor of good education, will not take you too far. And that is the reason why I'm excited about the free SHS program.
All right. We'll take a quick break. I'm excited to host Prince APPIAH DEBRAH, the MPP's parliamentary candidate for the good people of KLOTEY in the Greater Accra region. He wants to be the next MP come December 7, 2020. Stay with us. This is the next MP. When we come back, we'll look at what his plans are. And by all means, you can give us your input into this show. Send us your messages and we'll take them. Stay with us. This is the next MP.
We wake up every morning to different stories from politics, business, sports, and entertainment. These stories, one way or the other, affect our lifestyle and dealings with family, friends, and business associates. Your take on Diaspora Network Television gives you an opportunity to have your take on these pertinent issues via phone in and messages to our social media platforms, DNT Ghana on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If it's an important trending story, we will definitely talk about it. You'll take with me, Yasichi, on DNT.
I go kill you with
10 years of rewarding radio and television excellence. 10 years of rewarding excellent voices and personalities. 10 years of providing quality entertainment. RTP Awards, it's 10 years. The excitement is back. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards hitting the Kempinski Hotel live on the 7th of November 2020, coupled with spectacular performances. Time 6 p.m. The Adonko RTP Awards is brought to you by Adonko Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Jinray Estates, Bio Litigation Freelance, Verna Mineral Water, Your Lifestyle, Tofu Roofing Systems, Yas Tissues, Special Drinks, Jerigati Fashion House, Papa's Pizza, Axis Shipping, 247 Zara Boutique, A to Z Auto Services, Sumisura by Abdul, a step ahead in tailoring. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards is a black tie event. Attendance is by invitation. For DNT to win more awards, vote for us now. For DNT to win the Television Digital Station of the Year award, dial *447*111#. Select RTP DNT to vote, or you can log on to rtpawardsadfrica.com. Select RTP DNT to vote.
I go kill you with
As the national regulator of the communications industry in Ghana, the National Communications Authority seeks to ensure an environment that is safe and fair for consumers and service providers. NCA grants licenses and authorizations for operation of communication systems and services, develops guidelines to streamline communication activities, establish and monitor quality of service indicators for operators and service providers. NCA is in 8 regions: Accra, Tamale, Takoradi, Kumasi, Ho, Koforidua, Sunyani, and Bolgatanga. Do you have unresolved complaints with the service providers? Contact us on 0800110662, 0307011419 between the hours of 8 o'clock a.m. and 5 o'clock p.m. from Monday to Friday, or visit our website at www.nca.org.gh and follow the procedure for filing a complaint or submitting enquiry. National Communications Authority, Communications for Development.
Thank you for staying with us. On the next MP, my guest is Prince APPIAH DEBRAH, MPP's parliamentary candidate for KLOTEY, KORLE in the Greater Accra region. Prince, so let's look at the constituency right now. The current MP says you are not active in KLOTEY, KORLE, so she's expecting a tough competition, but she's not too worried. You're not active.
It's quite interesting. When was the last time she said that?
You want dates?
When was the last time she said that?
The bottom line is she says you're not active, and she's not worried too much about your threat.
Now she's very, very worried, and I can tell you that. She's doing house to house every day.
But that's normal. That's normal for
no,
any politician.
She has been away for the past 3.5 years. They never see her around. She's just coming around again. I was born there. I live there. I go. I mean,
you can't be everywhere in the constituency. You can't be everywhere. It's a huge constituency.
You can go through KLOTEY, KORLE in an hour.
Yeah, but if you're going on foot, if she's in a house in Tudu, you will not be there. If you are in Circle, you will not see her in Tudu.
The point I'm making is, when was the last time she said that?
Well, we'll probably have to organize a face-to-face so you can deal with her, but I'm just telling you what she says.
And the question is, because you want to say, well, she said in March that, oh, I don't know Prince APPIAH DEBRAH. He is faceless, nobody knows him. And that's what I'm asking. In October 2020, I wish somebody could ask her that question again. Why do you think Shiasan is booming like that? You think it's by fluke or magic? No. People really know who they are dealing with.
I think it's a kind of an ethnocentric jibe that you accuse the NDC of practicing, because Shiasan means what? This is the home matter, and nobody else. She's not from the home. That's
no, I just explained it to you. Yeah, that it's not an ethnic jibe. Myself, my name is APPIAH DEBRAH. My name is APPIAH DEBRAH. So what business do I have?
But you highlight your maternal links to the because it will give you.
Well, the guns are patrilineal, and technically speaking, I don't have a family. Technically speaking, because my father is from Oda. They are matrilineal. Technically, I don't belong to that family.
But you're not lost. You are very much found.
All right. So it is not an ethno dig. It is something, an expression, a kind of a eureka movement for Abel Lutheran, who stood there for a long time and said, oh, because of you. And he wasn't seeing me as a Gan or as an Achim or as
somebody who wants to be developed.
Exactly. Exactly.
What are the big issues? What is the number one issue in KLOTEY?
The number one issue in KLOTEY right now is joblessness, youth joblessness, and it runs the gamut. You never used to see it around Asylum Down. You never used to see it around Odona or Adabraka. But joblessness is become a big issue. And it is more than the 12% that is recorded nationally. Because of the density, the population density, there are a lot of people living in the KLOTEY enclave. And there are just too many of them who can't find jobs. And so you come to Su, you go to Asylum Down these days, you go to Adabraka. And there are a lot of people who are not having jobs. And people are passing by with washing cars or selling basic things. And that's not really what people want for a job.
Is the member of parliament responsible for the joblessness?
No.
Okay.
But as a member of parliament, you need to advocate for certain things. And what we intend doing about the joblessness in KLOTEY is to lobby hard, create job centers. In fact, I'm just coming from meeting some youth at Osudoku. And they were surprised about some of the things I told them, some of the things that was available that they could access. They didn't know all of those things were available. And I said, have you tried this? I asked them about the Impact Hub. I asked them about NEIP and a lot of them. And I realized that a couple of them have been to university and they still weren't aware of those things.
Then they are not responsible. Why should they wait for somebody to come and tell them what to do? They should be more responsible.
It is a problem with our educational system as it is now. I gave them an example of a lady I know who had graduated from Central University with a degree in accounting and still did not know that she could go on to become a chartered accountant within 2 years if that's what she wanted to do. That with your first degree in accounting, you don't take the first two parts, you move on to the intermediate level, and if you study that, you are a chartered accountant in 2 years. Now, 5 years after college, she still was at sea and was considering going to study makeup, to become a makeup artist. Until I told her, now, what are you doing? No, you studied accounting. Why did you spend that much time in school to do that? I found out through my campaigning, that our youth is not really informed about the career progressions, college choices, what you want to do to become this or that. And unfortunately for them in KLOTEY, they see everything. And so you are looking at something, but you are not really a part of it. And it's created a sort of disorientation or disalienation.
How do you intend to fix that?
By creating regular town hall type meetings, having, making my office available for them to come in, creating mentorship programs and lobbying for them to get jobs. Now, if you are, I wouldn't call it affirmative action because we don't have affirmative action laws in Ghana, but...
Is that something you would want to look at if you become a lawmaker?
No, I would not want to look at that.
You wouldn't want to look at affirmative action?
No.
Why not?
I don't think it's an issue in Ghana.
Affirmative action is not an issue in Ghana?
I don't think so. And I believe...
What do you understand by affirmative action?
No, affirmative action, if I would speak about it, is giving preferential treatment to minority groups and to women. Or
you don't think women deserve a push?
In Ghana?
Yes.
We have one of the most female-friendly laws in the whole world. And any Ghanaian woman who wants to achieve anything can do it. And we have examples of women, Ghanaian women, who have broken the glass ceiling without affirmative action. I mean, back in the day at the University of Ghana, the women rubbed shoulders with us, and they still do. And so they are smart. You don't have to hold their hands. They are in there with us, and a lot of them have gone on to bigger and greater things.
How many women are on your team?
A lot. You see, so the point I'm making is, with good education and with good network of people and mentors, we should be able to include a lot of people. So we can talk about inclusion and not affirmative action per se. And what I have seen...
But how do you include somebody who is left out of the system? You've got to find a way to bring the person in.
No, I will not do that by using affirmative action. Now, Ghana has a different social construct. And I told you, we have a lot of social capital that we are using. It has not been explained well, but social capital is very relevant in our part of the world, where the place you went to school, the place you go to church, the type of people you associate or your family associates with, all plays into how far you can go. These are the things we need to open people's eyes to and get them to build relationship with people ahead of them. Once you do that, it becomes very possible for you to get positive references and be able to get into the formal economy, if that's what we are talking about. But more importantly, the formal economy in Ghana is only 10% of the Ghanaian economy. The rest of the Ghanaian economy is in small, medium-scale businesses, self-employed people.
Which the current MP has been assisting people in sorting out donations. I'll just give you 1,200 desks, 250,000 CDs in scholarships, 2,400 math sets, 240 science sets, assisting sports clubs, traders, traditional leaders, religious leaders, providing street lights, healthcare. I mean, are you not scared that if you are an MP, you are going to be adding all these things to your budget and basically becoming a Father Christmas in the constituency? Because it looks like every parliamentary candidate that I've interviewed has had to go around giving things out to people.
You see, and that is, and I need to be very sensitive about the way I say this. It is not supposed to be something you do. And I believe that it is, but it is one way of showing your readiness for the job. At the same time, people need to understand, like you were alluding to just not long ago, that it is up to people to own up their lives and do the things that can make them prosper. Again, I told you that there's a big ideological divide between the MPP and the NDC, which turns on the preposition is and in.
Break that down for me.
Now, when we came, we said development in freedom. And they said development is freedom. Now, the difference is. We said development is freedom, and they said development in freedom. Now, we've broken that down to 4 ideas. The MPP has broken that motto down to 4 pillars. That 1, we believe in God. 2, that we believe in the dignity of every human being.
Every human being does that, in Ghana at least. We all believe in God. We all believe in the dignity of human beings.
Yes, it's even constitutional. It's enshrined in our constitution. And then we believe that every human being has freedom of conscience, and that no law, no government, no program should take that away from you.
Good.
And then the last piece is universal brotherhood, that we must associate with men of goodwill, of like-mindedness, so together we can make it.
And they say it's not like this.
No, I don't know what they
You
believe.
don't know what they do, but you said there's a difference between you
Yeah,
and them.
and because what they believe is not human-centered. It
Really?
is, development is freedom. I mean, we've given you a road, that's development. How does that impact on the people? They don't want to go there. And we've had this argument since 92 between, okay, it is about the roads, it's about the infrastructure, it is about, and which is all okay. We are not saying it is not okay. What we are saying is that the human impact, as measured by the Human Capacity Index, is more important measure of how we are developing as a country. So, for instance, for the MPP, we don't believe in largesse. We don't believe in free things. And unfortunately,
You have free SHS. That's a
and,
huge.
and so
You
we are
don't
coming
believe in
to
free
it.
things. That's free SHS is the hugest free gift.
It's an intervention.
It's free SHS.
It is an intervention.
It's semantics.
Which
Free SHS is free
intervention?
SHS.
Which intervention we want Ghanaians to understand properly.
You are giving free. You've branded pipes, Prince pipes, and you're giving people. They say they're not enjoying the free water because they don't have pipes, and you've gone to donate pipes and you've branded them.
And that free pipe.
Prince pipes.
Now let me tell you the
Is that
story.
not free? The free things that you
No,
say you don't.
because I'm paying for it.
No, but they're getting it free.
They are getting it free because
Free
I-
SHS, we have
because,
government pays for it, but the people get it free. So it's the same thing.
because at the time somebody needed to help.
Did you have to
You
brand
see-
the pipes with your name on it?
Yes, I have to.
Why?
Because people went around saying it is theirs. And if you don't protect it, people will claim it as theirs.
Who went around claiming the pipes?
Oh, people went around claiming it's
Who?
theirs.
Who?
Oh, I will not mention names
No,
here.
no, but if you have Prince pipes there, so why can't you mention the person who,
I'm telling
who was,
you,
who was coveting your pipe? Your
people
pipes?
coveted the pipes. And so it became a big issue.
Prince, it's interesting you're saying this because the same argument can be made for these roads in Asylum Down that the current MP says after 3 years of lobbying, work has actually started. Work started in August, I believe, on the roads. And then I also read that you were claiming that you brought those roads into existence. You made it happen.
Kafui.
So
Kafui.
what is it? People are
Kafui.
commenting on both sides.
Kafui, how can you bring a road into existence? This road has been existing as long as I know Asylum Down, but it's been in very bad shape.
Exactly. So that's exactly what I'm saying. That
and-
after 3 years of lobbying, they've started work on it, and you are trying to claim that.
No, I did not claim that. I did not. Let me give you the background to that story. Asylum Down, you know, is where the MPP had its national headquarters. And as far as KLOTEY politics go, we have never lost a seat in Asylum Down. It's a stronghold of the MPP. The people there weren't happy. They didn't like the fact that their roads were bad. Myself, anytime I drive there, you have to be careful the way you negotiate your way. So we all started talking about it for a long time. Now, admittedly, my opponent has a letter she wrote in 2017, October 2017, asking for some of these roads to be fixed. Now, question is, did she get a response to that letter? Now, this is KLOTEY KORLE or KORLE Municipal Assembly. So now we have a municipality. The interests have changed. Nana has declared 2020 the year of roads. So there's a lot of capital outlay on fixing the roads. I happen to be the MPP parliamentary candidate, and I've championed that, look, let's fix Asylum Down roads because we are going to lose votes
So
there.
bottom line, you are behind the roads that she claims that she lobbied for 3 years.
Now,
Is that what
let
you're
me tell
saying?
you.
Is that what you're saying?
When the contractor came to, or was about to come to the roads, my name was given to him. He called me, Mr. DEBRAH, your name has come up. Where are the roads?
In what capacity? How would your name come up?
Your name has come up. Where are the roads? So I took them to the road on that morning, and I showed them this is where the roads are, and they said, okay, it starts from Irani Clinic, It will go
In
down
what
here.
capacity, though? I mean, what was your
In my capacity as the parliamentary candidate for
But
KLOTEY,
that's what
KORLE.
you've not been voted in yet.
I've not been voted in
Yeah,
yet.
it's
but
presumptive. You have to go for the election in 64 days, and then you have a title. So there's no position.
There are privileges to some of the things that come in. I
So
mean, what can I say? My government is in power.
Are you saying that if I get up today, tomorrow, and decide to be an independent candidate of KLOTEY, KORLE, because of my links to the constituency, I should not be surprised if a contractor calls me and says, "Hey, Kafui, show us the roads that we can go and fix them."
Kafui,
I want to know.
you are the independent candidate, and the contractor will call you.
Oh, so you're using your incumbency advantage because
Definitely,
your government
there are
is in power.
privileges to incumbency, and so there are privileges to incumbency.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but technically the government is not an NPP government. It's for the whole of Ghana.
It's for the whole of Ghana,
And the MP should have been informed, and not you, because you don't have any position.
Well, I was informed. The issue is this, and I've said it a lot of the times. Granted that she's the MP, and granted that this road has been fixed, how do you want to claim the credit and at the same time discredit the government that made it possible? See, the point I'm making is in the interest...
Where is the discredit?
The discredit is that after claiming that this road, she lobbied for this road to be done.
After 3 years.
After 3 years.
Claimed, yeah.
She's saying vote Zu and Za.
Yeah.
Are you getting me?
But you expected to say vote Kukudu.
And that is the reason why a Kukudu government has fixed the road. And you are asking people to vote against that government that fixed the road.
Maybe they want skirt and blouse. They vote her in, and then they can bring her so that you are knocked out, and then somebody else comes in.
So you see the
because all
dishonesty.
politics are it's not
all politics
is local.
All politics is local. What I'm saying is, and on that day when I also granted the interview, you see, when I was on the road with the contractors, she had come to sit somewhere watching. And as soon as I left, because I was with the contractors from about 9 a.m. all the way to about 2:33, when I left to go and take a rest. And that's when she came in and said, why would they let me come in there?
That's my question.
For me, I was happy. Because again, we have tried to convince the contractor to hire people in that Salom Down area to do the work. That is the benefit of big government works. You hire people in the neighborhood so there's employment. Yeah. And so we went there with the boys that morning for the contractor to see them and consider giving them the job.
Yes.
So
what you're saying is troubling to me, because it means that if you have an opposition MP in a particular area, they should not expect any development there, because if any development comes there, they will not credit the government for those developments, but will rather want that government to be voted out.
No, I'm rather saying the opposite, that the credit should go to His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo.
But Ghana has a history of not recognizing people who have done things in the past. I mean, whoever comes in, and why should they give the credit? Well, she says she lobbied, and it's
and isn't that a good thing for the president? Look at the argument you are making. So that granted, and I'm saying granted, we want to concede that she is the opposition MP and she lobbied for it. But the sitting president, who doesn't belong to a party, still saw the goodness, the need to fix the road. So the road has been fixed in spite of the fact that we don't have an incumbent MP there. Okay. Wouldn't you give the credit to the president?
No, but the argument here was you claiming credit for it.
I did not claim credit. Okay, I just went there and said, let's thank the president for this road. And she goes there to say, no, she lobbied for it.
But why thank the president, really? Because
why wouldn't you thank
Is he the one who agreed for the contractor to come? I thought these are local government issues.
No. This was done by Urban Roads. It wasn't being done by KLOTEY Municipality.
So it's the Ministry of...
It's the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Urban Roads.
Wow.
Okay? And so the argument is not about me per se.
It's about the president.
Thank you.
We'll go for a quick break. I thank you for watching, but we're not done yet. So you stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
Exactly.
This is the next MP. Good.
I go kill you with enjoyment.
10 years of rewarding radio and television excellence. 10 years of rewarding excellent voices and personalities. 10 years of providing quality entertainment. RTP Awards, it's 10 years. The excitement is back. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards hitting the Kempinski Hotel live on the 7th of November 2020, coupled with spectacular performances, time 6 p.m. The Adonko RTP Awards is brought to you by Adonko Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Jinre Estates, Bio Litigation Freelance, Verna Mineral Water, Your Lifestyle, Dofu Roofing Systems, Yas Tissues, Special Drinks, Jerigate Fashion House, Papa's Pizza, Axis Shipping, 247 Zara Boutique, A to Z Auto Services, Sumisura by Abdul, a step ahead in tailoring. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards is a black tie event. Attendance is by invitation. For DNT to win more awards, vote for us now. For DNT to win the Television Digital Station of the Year award, dial *447*111#. Select RTP DNT to vote, or you can log on to rtpawardsafrica.com. Select RTP DNT to vote.
I go kill you with enjoyment.
We wake up every morning to different stories from politics, business, sports, and entertainment. These stories, one way or the other, affect our lifestyle and dealings with family, friends, and business associates. Your take on Diaspora Network Television gives you an opportunity to have your take on these pertinent issues via phone in and messages to our social media platforms, DNT Ghana on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. When it's an important trending story, we will definitely talk about it. Your take with me, Yalsichi, on DNT.
"64 days to election 2020. I hope your thumbs are safe and ready to do action." My guest, Prince APPIAH DEBRAH, is flexing his thumbs. He says the spirit of Osu is behind him. I'll get some clarification as to exactly what that spirit of Osu is. But we've been getting your messages across social media, and there's a gentleman who is watching us all the way from La Côte d'Ivoire. Bonsoir. Solomon Majite, and he says he thinks that someone like you could be a breath of fresh air and a great help to the people of KLOTEY, KORLE, and he wants to turn out and vote for you, and hope
awesome.
others will join him. So that's Solomon Majite in La Côte d'Ivoire. Keep the messages coming in. Ben Don Kote says, my MP, you do all. So people are kind of very happy with you. Those are the messages I'm getting so far. Let me see another one here I want to get for you. There are a lot of pubs in Osu and Adabraka, and we see some of the youth drifting because some of the activities these activities are in these pubs. What would you do to stop open prostitution and other vices in your constituency? And this is from Sevorian in Osu.
I alluded to the incidence of joblessness. And it creates all kinds of things. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. Osu Adabraka is being the center of nightlife in Accra. But back in the day when we were growing up, when it wasn't these KTK, Black Caesar and stuff, it was patronized by good-natured people. And even if you are a student, you were still a student before you were enjoying these things. Contrast that with what we have now, where people are running amok on the streets. And it is very worrying. And then when you couple that with substance abuse, then you know we have a real problem on our hands.
It's a big problem there in Tudu.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's your constituency as well.
It is my constituency.
Yeah.
And so when you go out there and you engage And you want to find out why people find themselves in this quagmire. Oh, I finished school 8 years now, nothing for me. And nothing for you, and so started trying stuff. We need to engage people and make sure we find opportunities for people to live a meaningful life. If we can do that, and again, at Osu and Tudu, engage people so that they stay in school longer, that they stay in apprenticeship, that they stay in skills training, that they find mentors. A combination of these things, and with the support of the church and the Muslim community, we can help people to live meaningful lives. It is unfortunate, and I'm happy the person brought it up. At the beginning, I told you, for KLOTEY KORLE, the problem is people. It's not that we don't have the infrastructure, we have it. We have some few sanitation problems, which I take a serious issue to because it is inexcusable. But the people in the inner cities of Osu, in the Tudu corners, in Osu proper, things aren't too good. And those of us who grew up in those neighborhoods and knows that this is not how it used to be, find it very, very disturbing. And that's why we want to add our voice to the message and say, look, you can have a better life than this. And this is the way to go about it.
Let's talk about environmental issues. So flooding, how serious of a problem is it in your constituency?
It is so serious. It is so serious that all the properties from Graphic Road to where NS Chemists have their warehouse, Cumberland Hotel area, are uninsurable. No insurance company will insure any property there. No insurance company will touch them because every year there's flooding. And anytime the flooding occurs, there's value at risk, substantial value at risk, there's loss of property and life, and then we go back to sleep. We go in and say, oh, let's do this. As soon as the water goes, we also go to sleep.
Your government is in charge. Why haven't they fixed it? They've disappointed the people of KLOTEY KORLE.
No, they have not.
They have. It's not fixed.
No, it's not been fixed yet, but there are 2 drains under construction presently.
But it's not yet fixed. It's 4 years.
I said, there are 2 drains under construction presently.
How long does it take to construct a drain?
I wouldn't know. But
3 years?
Let me tell you this.
How big is this drain?
No, now,
Please.
now,
I mean, it's an excuse. I mean, if your government took over on the 7th of June of January 2017, and we are now on the 4th of October 2020, you're telling me 2 drains are supposed to be fixed. Are we building drains to the moon?
Kafui.
It's just KLOTEY.
It's not KLOTEY. The KLOTEY doesn't have that problem.
Fine.
I'm talking to you about the Udo River that links to the KORLE Lagoon.
It's not the Nile or the Mississippi.
Exactly.
It's just within the region.
And that is the reason why it is so pathetic that we still haven't fixed it.
It's an indictment on your
no,
administration.
but why, this time, why is the incumbent MP not saying she can't fix it?
She actually has a flood map, a flood anti-flood app. And she claims that she's not getting buy-in from the Metropolitan Assembly. She's not getting buy-in from the Ghana Fire Service. So she's trying to do something.
No, she's an ex-official member of the Assembly.
She says she's not getting buy-in. These are her words, not my words.
I'm telling you, I'm throwing it back at you.
But I know that
she is an ex-official member of the Assembly, and she can lobby to get it fixed.
Excellent.
So she should get it fixed.
But you guys are in charge, and you say you are building a drain.
And
or you want her to give credit to the president, and then the drain will be built. Is that what you want the credit to come first?
When something gets done, she lobbied to get it done.
People are suffering.
When it's
flooding,
no,
it's not. People die every year.
It is not a laughing matter.
People die.
It is not a laughing matter. The Odo drain itself is 18 feet deep. But when I'm walking in it, you can see just my legs. In other words, it is filled with silt. And so it is not being carried away. And when you walk on the Odo drain, you see the silt has been taken and it's just sitting just at the edge of the drain.
I want you, Osu boy, to go and lobby and sort this thing
and
out.
It's in my program. In fact, in the New Direction program, we have said explicitly in black and white that we are going to make sure that this problem is fixed once and for all.
Whether you are MP or not.
When I'm MP.
But if you're not?
When I'm.
But if you're not MP?
The MP should get it done.
Oh. So
yes.
you help the people when you're not an MP?
No, what can you do? You cannot.
Even as a parliamentary candidate, you are able to organize roads?
I did not organize the road.
Well, you were called and you showed the people where to go.
And I'm telling you how much work we are doing to make sure that the drain gets done. This year, myself and the municipal chief executive and Nana Akufo-Addo went to cut sword on a new drain that was coming. And the president was furious. I was surprised. He was furious because he asked the question. I came to cut sword on a drain here. Why is it? And he said, it's still under construction. And he said, so you haven't done it? And you want to start a new one? And he said, oh, it's about getting done. And he said, oh, he did it all the same. But you could see the seriousness, the sense of urgency in his voice, that he wasn't happy that the thing has not been done after he's come to cut salt for 2 drains. And that is how bad it is. Now, you have a new municipal assembly, and mind you, the KORLE Municipal Assembly is new. It just came into existence in 2018. Kokma. And so, truth be told, they are just putting in place their establishment documents. In fact, their place of their office is still under construction.
They can work without having,
but
they've
fortunately,
got to work faster. People are dying.
But fortunately, these 2 drains are being constructed by Ministry of Housing. Mr. Attachen's office, Honorable Attachen's office.
Do you have timelines? When will the drains be fixed?
We are pushing for the contractor to come back to site and make sure it gets the drain fixed and fixed properly.
Okay. Before we wrap this up, what is this spirit of Osu that you keep talking about? You say the spirit of Osu is behind you.
Well, I said it once. I don't keep talking about it.
Where is this spirit of Osu?
I said it once, I think, on a show with Paul Adomochwe.
What is the spirit of Osu?
And you see, the KLOTEY, for instance, the people of Osu believe that the KLOTEY is a spirit.
Do you believe it?
And it embodies. I'm talking about the people of Osu.
But you identify with them.
Exactly. And when we used to swim in the KLOTEY as kids. I mean, it was a living water. Clean and clear. It is dark. So when you swim in it, you feel the darkness around you. So from the KLOTEY, you go and dive into the sea and you get cleared and before you go home. That thing is gone. And when I started talking about how pristine it was at KLOTEY now, and then people started connecting with that, they're like, wow. But these
are the old folks. The young people don't know anything about this KLOTEY.
And then when you tell them, they're amazed. They say, oh, is that what it used to be?
Yeah.
I said, yes, that's what it used to be. It was pristine. We caught all kinds of fish in it. It was a living water that had tilapia, had shrimps, had all kinds of things in there. It's now like a gutter, and it's suffocating. So you now have a KLOTEY Ulomo, or the KLOTEY priest, who sometimes gets wild and goes out there to clear people out of the river or the lagoon. And so when you say these things, and people, it resonates with people, and they get carried away with you. That is what I meant by the spirit of KLOTEY.
Is it political talk?
It is not political. There's a deeper spiritual connection to that. And it is important that people understand that we say that our forefathers didn't know God. And we even sing and say, I think they knew something we don't know. They understood the ecological essence of these water bodies, all the way from Chemu to Sakumu in Accra. Accra lies below sea level. Yeah. And these lagoons are supposed to be natural reservoirs. So the water comes from the Akuapem Hills, is deposited there, and after a while, they break and enter, join with the sea, and then they are ready to hold new water. We've damaged all these water bodies, which happens to be Ramsaya sites also. And
is there hope? Is there hope for restoration?
Yes, there's hope for restoration. And we have, part of our new direction plan is to restore the KORLE Lagoon. All right. It's one of the ways we can minimize the flooding in Accra.
Indeed.
And it's not just the KORLE Lagoon, KLOTEY Lagoon, KORLE Lagoon, the Peishi, and other lagoons across the coast. We must take it as a national developmental and ecological issue, and we must tackle them. in a very comprehensive manner, so that Accra can be breathable a little bit.
Accra can be breathable again. It's been great talking to you, Prince APPIAH DEBRAH, parliamentary candidate for the NPP. KLOTEY, KORLE. It's a final message to those who are watching you from the constituency. What do you have to tell them?
It's a new day.
Yes.
It's a new day for KLOTEY, KORLE, and I'm appealing to all and sundry to listen into the issues and not get carried away by the insults and the innuendos. We are at a point where we need to understand that our survival depends to a large extent on who can lead us, who can give us vision, who can give us hope, and who can really carry us along to a better KLOTEY, KORLE, where we can take advantage of all the opportunities within this constituency by virtue of its historic location. And I'm praying to God that you do consider the two candidates, weigh the two of us, and give me your thumbs up come December 7th.
Prince,
thank you very much.
APPIAH DEBRAH, thank you very much. I've been given a Down 101 by my guest here, the parliamentary candidate for the good people of KLOTEY, KORLE in the greater Accra region. Good evening to you, Isahaku Idrisu from Ahafomim, assemblyman from Airport Quarters, Electoral area. He's saying hello to Prince and all of us here. We are wishing all the second-year junior high school and senior high school students the very best. Tomorrow is the return to school, and we wish you the very best as you go back to continue your education. Keep watching the DNT and make sure your RTP votes come to us so we can win Digital Channel of the Year. 64 days to the election. Let's keep safe, and God willing, everything will go smoothly. My name is Kafui. It's been a real pleasure coming your way live from DNT with Prince APPIAH DEBRAH. Good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, it was good. Very lively.
I go kill you with enjoyment.
10 years of rewarding radio and television excellence. 10 years of rewarding excellent voices and personalities. 10 years of providing quality entertainment. RTP Awards, it's 10 years. The excitement is back. The 10th Adonko RTP Awards hitting the Kempinski Hotel live on the 7th of November 2020, coupled with spectacular performances. Time 6 p.m. The Adonko RTP Awards is brought to you by Adonko Hand Sanitizer, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Jim Ray Estates, Bio Litigation Free Land, Verna Mineral Water, Your Lifestyle, Dofu Roofing Systems, Yas Tissues, Special Drinks, Jerry Gate Fashion House, Papa's Pizza, Axis Shit. Or you can log on to rtpawardsadfrica.com, select RTP DNT to vote.
I go kill you with